People say that the cost of living is ridiculous right now. And I'm going to compare it to the 1940s and 50s, when my grandparents were young and were working and were buying houses and things like that. In comparing it to today, it's night and day. And unfortunately, right now, we're in night. Yes, we do have a few lights at the end of the tunnel, but that's it. We don't have a bright light at the end of the tunnel. Just a few dim lights. Like Ocasio-Cortez and Adami and Bernie Sanders and there's one other lady. And Tim Walz. Those people get our plight. And here's what I'm going to say. My grandparents, when they bought their first house in 45, I want to say 46, somewhere around then, my grandfather was doing a factory job, and he made more money than what the house was worth. Yeah, and could buy a car. No ifs, ands, or buts on that $30,000 salary. It's amazing what you could buy back then. The cost of living was, compared to now, low. We actually had income equality, something that FDR brought to the masses. Yes, the last democratic socialist president we had. He gave us Social Security, which to this day is something that the older folks need. He brought us a lot of social programs that we still have today. Now, my parents bought a house on a $40,000 a year salary. Actually, it was more like $50,000. The house cost $65,000. And that was in 1982. I am proud to say that. The cost of living was still okay, but prices started to inflate then. There are a lot of whys here. The raising of interest rates by the Federal Reserve to 20%, absolutely ridiculous. The cutting of taxes on the rich by Ronald Reagan, that sent us in a downward spiral of income inequality. A lot of people say that Ronald Reagan was a great president. I don't. I think he did a lot of damage. And people don't seem to understand that. And the damage was never fixed. In fact, the income inequality has just gotten worse and worse, and here we are today, where on a $100,000 a year salary, you can barely make ends meet. You might be able to put a down payment on a house, but you're pretty much living paycheck to paychecks. And $100,000 a year and you're living paycheck to paycheck? No. It should be $100,000 can buy you a house. $150,000 can buy you a house and a car. How to make ends meet? You gotta make about $250,000, $300,000 a year. That's absolutely ridiculous. The cost of utilities is ridiculous. The cost, like, how much is it? The house we live in now, when we moved here, was about $170,000. This house right now costs $475,000. Same house. Luckily, we got our mortgage when it was at the lower end of that deal, so we're paying less. But it's just ridiculous. Another thing that I always forget to mention is every other country in this world, especially Europe, has Medicare for all. Canada has Medicare for all. And trust me when I say this, Barack Obama wanted Medicare for all. And Congress just said bluntly, no. We'll give you Obamacare, but we will not give you Medicare for all. It pissed him off, and if I was the people, I would have flipped my lid on Congress. The Democrats I would have had primaried, and the Republicans I would vote out, because what are we doing? We're literally giving more money to the rich. And I don't get it. Why are we voting for president people that want to give money to the rich? And don't think that medical health care is a right. It is a right. It should be, at least. Like every other country, civilized country in the world. I'm just happy now that some voices are popping up from the ashes, and some progressives and actual democratic social democrats are starting to win races, are starting to win elections. Why? Because the people want it. The people want Medicare for all. People want income equality. People want all that stuff. The people want the rich taxed more than they are. The problem with the rich is, at the very least, remove the loopholes. And raise the effective tax rate to 70% on the rich. Okay? It's not that hard. It's gonna... That's why in 2028, I am voting, if she does run, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez for president. And until we meet again, I will be talking about who is going to. I'm going to talk about the progressives in the Democrat Party, and they deserve to have more of a limelight than they do. And that's it.